Today we will see about the topic. The topic is command prompt. So the command prompt is a Windows application meant to act as a command line interpreter. So as the name itself suggests, the command prompt is used to give commands to the system like file management commands such as copy and delete. It also acts as a user interface, but in textual commands and not in graphical. These days we have operating system with graphical user interface, which means here if I want to copy this folder to the desktop, all I have to do is move my pointer with the assistance of mouse and right click on it, click copy and go to desktop, minimizing and right click again and paste, which is giving a command to the computer by means of graphical user interface. But earlier when mouse and other graphical user interface was not there, like if I have to copy a file from one location to another, I have to type a text line to do that. But why are we still trying to learn this command prompt and when we already have the GUI? The reason is simple. The first reason I can give is it is useful to troubleshoot your computer. And another reason is that it is behind all the graphical user interface, which means it can do more than a graphical user interface can do and has more functionality and control on the operating system. So let's see some of those commands, starting from simple ones. The first one is about directories. To do all these operations, let's start our command prompt. So I will start a command prompt from here. Command prompt can be started from the start menu itself. So if I type cmd, it'll be command prompt will show up in the start menu, and I can click here and start the command prompt. And the other way is you can press Windows button and R and type cmd and hit enter. So the first one about directory is cd, that is change directory. So we are in the directory of C drive user guesty, and then we are in this location. So in order to change back to the users folder or to that directory, if I want to change the directory to that location, I can type cd dot dot and hit enter, and then I'm here at the users directory. Now if I want to call back furthermore, I can also type cd and backslash. It's either way, you can use any one of them. Either it is cd dot dot or it's a backslash, and then you'll be able to go back to the previous directory. And in the same way, you can also change the drives also. If I want to go to, instead of C drive, I can go to uh, let's say G drive, and I'll have to give a colon. If I want to go to another drive, I'll write the name of the drive and then I'll give a colon and hit enter, and then I will be in the G drive. Now suppose if we were using a graphical user interface, we'll be clicking on G drive and then going to Windows. And suppose if I want to achieve that using our command prompt, that is command line, I'll be using the same command. I'll be using the same command, that is cd, but instead of dot dot, which allows me to go to the previous directory, but I want to go to the some other directory or some other folders. So in here I'm going to type as Windows. So it doesn't matter whether you type it in the uppercase or lowercase, in capital or small letters, it will still work. So cd and Windows. So I'm in the Windows folder now, and let me go back here again, and in our G drive again I have so many directories here or so many folders here. So in case if I am not aware of the folders, I can still write cd and you can give any letter like D and press tab key in your keyboard. It will allow you to give the folder names. So in this way it will make it easier for you to search the directories. So if I type U here and press tab key in my keyboard, it will give the directories relevant to the letter U. So I have only one folder, that is users, in the directory. So if I hit enter. I'm inside the users directory now. Now suppose if I want to view the contents inside this directory, that is inside the directory of the users, I can type dir and hit enter, and everything that is inside this directory will be shown here. So those directories are like Steel, Lenovo, public. These are the directories available inside this users folder, which is this one right here. These are the three directories, or these are the three folders that we have opened using this command prompt. Now, in order to run some commands in command prompt, you need to have the permission of the administrator. So for that reason, I have to start the command prompt or run it as an administrator. So in order to run the command prompt as an administrator, you can go to start again, type cmd, right click here and select run as administrator. So I'll click that, yes. Now again, I want to go to G drive, and in our G drive we have the users folder, and inside the users folder we have three directories. So in here again, I want to make one more directory, or in other words, I want to make one more folder. So in order to make one more folder, the syntax is, first I need to go to the users folder, that is cd users, and for making a directory or a folder, I'm going to write mkdir, and let's say I want to make the name of the folder as just say new, and hit enter. So in that way I have a new folder here again. Now the other way to make a new directory is that you can just write md and then let's say folder. So that is the name of the folder, hit enter, and then that folder will also be created. Now we have 5 folders here. So say I want to rename one of those folder. Let's say I want to rename this A folder, and for renaming the folder you can use the name of the syntax is ren, type the name of the folder and the name of the new folder. Let's say I want to change it to abcd folder, and hit enter. You see that the name of the folder has been renamed. So the same process can also be used for renaming a folder or a file name. We've already seen how to rename a folder, but let's see how we can rename a file name also. So for file name, suppose here I have a text file here, that is the name of the file is abc, and if we check here, the file extension is .txt. So you need to know the name of the file extension also in order to rename a file name by using command prompt. So we are in this public directory, so I will have to go to that public directory. It is in G drive, cd users directory, and inside users directory I will have to go to public again, and inside that public I want to rename the text file. So I'm going to write ren, and the name of the text file is abc.txt, that is the file extension, and I want to rename it to, let's say, xyz, but the name of the file extension should also be there, and hit enter. And then let's go back and check it. So here the file name has been changed to xyz. Now let's go back to the users folder again. So cd dot will allow you to go back to a previous directory. So I'll hit enter, and I'm in the users directory again. Now suppose if I want to delete a folder, let's say in our users folder I want to remove or delete the folder that is new folder here. So for deleting, you can use the syntax as del and write the name of the folder. So it gives you a warning and asks you if you really want to delete this folder. So Y for yes and N for no. So press Y and hit enter. So our new folder is not gone actually. The actual thing that happens is that if anything is here in this folder, only those files will be removed from this folder if I use this syntax, that is del new, that is new is the name of the folder. I have this so if I have this file here and let's say I run the same command again, that is del and then new and press Y and hit enter again, only the contents in the folder will be gone and not the folder. So in order to remove the folder completely, you will have to write a new command, that is rd, which goes for remove directory. And if I type the name of the folder and hit enter, that folder will be deleted. Now let's see how we can run some programs using the command prompt. For running a program or a software using command prompt, you can either use it directly or use it as an administrator. So for now, we'll just use it directly. So in order to open a new program, for some default application that is already installed in your operating system, it'll be easier to open. Like suppose if I want to open Notepad, if you type Notepad and hit enter, Notepad will be opened. And some other applications like let's say Paint, I want to open Paint, but for Paint we should write MS Paint and hit enter. Paint will be opened. In this manner you can also open other applications. So for opening other applications, you need to know the directory or location of the exe file of that software. So if you want to know more about the command prompt and some of its syntax or the command lines of which you should be using, you can always search for, or you can always type help and look at the list of the commands that is given here. So here REN means renames a file or files, so which we have already used. So this kind of similar commands will be given here. Now apart from directory, some other helpful commands in command prompt are, first one is ipconfig, which is used to display the network settings that is currently assigned in the machine or in the computer. If I type ipconfig here, all the informations about the connectivity that I'm about the adapter that I'm using now, about the internet, will be shown here. So the informations are like the IP address and then what kind of adapter I'm using right now. And the next one is ping, which helps in determining TCP/IP networks IP addresses, as well as determine issues with the network. And for that reason, it helps us in resolving those kind of connections. Let us try with ping, and let us say if we have a connectivity with the Google, so let's type google.com, and here as we can see we're receiving the packets from Google. So that means we have the connection between this computer and the Google. So I hope it was useful in learning the basics of running commands in the command prompt.